up, everyone? Welcome back to the Charter Podcast, brought to you by St. Xavier University. I'm Ruthie Polinsky, back with Clay Harbor. Week 12, Clay.
12 already?
Week 12.
Week 12.
Pittsburgh Steelers coming to town. Bears are 7-3. And vibes are good. The vibes are good. Bears are getting healthier, allegedly.
Yeah.
And things have been happening this week. I think we'll start with the headline here, which we have been on Aaron Rodgers watch.
Yeah.
Say that 10 times fast.
Aaron Rodgers watch. Aaron Rodgers watch.
That was 2.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers watch. And this is the quote-unquote owner of the Bears. There's been a lot of discussion. Bears fans who want him to play, Bears fans who don't want him to play. Where do you stand on this? I know you have a lot of experience going up against, Hall of Fame players in your career who maybe were dealing with an injury, and you were kind of keeping tabs on the injury report all week saying, wouldn't be the worst thing if that guy didn't go out there.
Yeah. Firstly, Aaron Rodgers, when I was with the Eagles, made the playoffs in a divisional round. We are winning. The Eagles, Aaron Rodgers has a 2-minute drive, comes back and scores. And we have a chance to win the game. Michael Vick throws in the end zone, a pass to Riley Cooper, which is intercepted with like 15, 20 seconds left. Packers beat us barely. They go on to win the Super Bowl that year against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But yes, I've played against, I was talking to you and David about this, 𝗻𝗏 𝗿𝗀 when I was with the Eagles. He's questionable, right? And great player. And I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is up to this level right now in his career, but I'm watching this tape of 𝗻𝗏 𝗿𝗀, and I'm going, if he don't play, great. Like, I'm not scared of him. If he plays, yeah, I'm going to bring it. I'm going to come out. But we have to change our game plan to make sure this guy is accounted for. We have to double team him. We have to have 4 hands. 𝗻𝗏 𝗿𝗀, J.J. Watt when I was with the Jaguars. So for me, it's like if you have a better probability to win if this guy doesn't play, good, don't play. If he plays, yeah, bring it on. We're going to do everything we need to do. But we can open our offense up so much more. Obviously, defense, in this case, with Aaron Rodgers. I think Mason Rudolph is a good quarterback. And, it's Christmas time almost. And Rudolph comes around to save the day. I don't think this is that day. I think Rudolph ain't saving this. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to play. He got the broken wrist, but he still owns Chicago. Chicago, I own you. He's not ready to give up that deed. I think we see Aaron Rodgers. I would probably rather Mason Rudolph come to try to save the day because I think he's a quarterback that you could affect more with your coverages, your disguises, get after him a little more turnover prone. But Aaron Rodgers isn't the Rodgers that we knew from those years when he went 25-5 against the Bears, 12 of his last 13. And with a broken wrist, you got to think that this Bears team could beat them either way.
It's interesting because the broken wrist is obviously his left wrist, not his throwing wrist. What I can't really wrap my head around, Clay, is if I'm Aaron Rodgers, and you hit the ground and you try and break your fall with your hand, there is a serious risk of making this worse than it is. And I don't know if missing 1 week, missing 2 weeks would really. Oh, are you showing me a scar?
I'm showing you.
Yeah.
A couple of big scars here. I broke my wrist in a game and I tried to play through it. You know what happened a few drives later? I broke my toe because I was out there with a broken wrist. So different positions. Overcompensate. Obviously, I'm trying to block people. He's throwing a football. But you're absolutely right. Yeah. You got to have a cognizant thought of when you fall to just let yourself fall instead of bracing yourself.
Right. And then you hit your head or you land on your throwing arm or whatever it may be. You wonder the risk of a guy like Aaron Rodgers, 41 years old, going out there and putting himself in harm's way with a lot of football still to play this year. So I don't know. I think obviously he's going to try and push to play. I don't really know how much of this is gamesmanship with the Steelers because it does feel like we all know Aaron Rodgers wants to play, but they're sort of being a little ambiguous about the medical staff clearing him and making sure that they approve of it. Looked like he was taking some snaps in practice today on Thursday when we're taping this. I saw some video of the other guys taking some simulated snaps under center. Aaron Rodgers did not. I saw him only taking things, out of the shotgun. Obviously, it's, a coach
Yeah.
throwing it to him. But those were some of the videos I saw today. We're going to dissect and read into this in every single possible way we can. At the end of the day, do you have a gut feeling of whether or not Aaron Rodgers plays? If it's Aaron Rodgers, if it's Mason Rudolph, how much does that change whether or not you believe the Bears can go out there and Soldier Field and beat this Pittsburgh Steelers team?
I'm picking the Bears either way.
Woo!
My gut feeling is I'm thinking we're seeing Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer.
That's your gut feeling?
That's my gut feeling. That's my gut feeling. Because I don't think there's a big enough distance between Rodgers at this point. I know he's had a nice season, gets the ball out quick, and 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He has an over 100 passer rating. He's been doing a fine job, but I don't think it's like, I was listening to Kurt Warner on the Score the other day, and Kurt Warner's talking about like he played with a broken hand and these injuries, and he had to hand the ball off with his right hand, even when he's going to the left, even when he's going to the right, using the same hand. But
Yeah.
Kurt Warner was an MVP quarterback that year, and you needed Kurt Warner on the team. I'm thinking this year, Aaron Rodgers is an okay quarterback. He's fine. He's probably middle of the pack, and Mason Rudolph is probably in the 30s somewhere, but I don't think it changes their offense that much. So it makes more sense to me to give Aaron Rodgers a week, let him recover, and let Mason Rudolph see if he can beat the Bears. But I think either way, I'm taking the Bears.
The Bears are walking out of Soldier Field at 8-3, you think? Still in first place in the division.
The 𝗵𝗻𝗻𝗻's not practicing today.
Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there.
I know. That's
Getting
just
ahead
something
here.
that's on my head.
Getting ahead.
I'm on mine.
I got some questions for you on that, too. Let's do that. Let's switch the script a little bit. Let's talk about some of these Bears injuries. Jalen Johnson, a full participant on Thursday. Okay. Full participant. Mind-boggling. I don't know if that means he's going to play. We're not probably going to know until Sunday because I'm sure they'll mark him as questionable. Unless they don't give him an injury designation, and that would be absolutely bonkers.
That would be crazy if Jalen's back already.
It would give me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies, but I mean, listen, Jalen Johnson, that's a good player. When you're out there, you're going to be better. Kyler Gordon, limited. That's great news this week. He's getting ready to come back from his soft tissue injury as well. A lot of positive news in the secondary. However, 3 linebackers for the Bears did not practice on Wednesday or Thursday. Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, as well as Noah Sewell. Do we need linebackers or...
That's big. Jalen Warren, I was watching the film from last week, had a really nice game. Kenny Gainwell had a nice game. They can run the ball. I know during this season, they're not known for being this power running team like we might think of the Steelers of old, but they can still run the ball, move the ball. They had 100 yards on the ground, over 100 yards on the ground, and their running backs do a nice job, not only in the run game, but the pass game. The reason I bring up the pass game is because who guards the running backs in the pass game? The linebackers. And Kenny Gainwell is a guy that had a long career with the Eagles, very crafty in the pass game, runs good routes. And I think if Tremaine Edmonds is out, that is a weapon that they can exploit, especially with Rodgers not wanting to get the hit, not wanting to get hit, wanting to get the ball out quick, and they can get the ball out quick to Gainwell or Warren.
Yeah, a little troubling there. The Bears also did sign a linebacker to their practice squad this week. Seemingly more of a special teamer, Pro Bowler, special teams player, but they did add some depth at that position. So that's hopefully just in order to be able to practice. You imagine at least 2 of those guys are going to be okay for Sunday.
You gotta hope.
You gotta hope.
You gotta hope.
Regardless, Clay, what will be the key for Caleb Williams on Sunday?
Great question here. So the matchup that my popcorn is popping right now for, I'm getting ready to watch this, is this D line of the Pittsburgh Steelers. 3rd in sacks, 33 sacks on the year. This team's getting after people. And what did Ben Johnson call them? Werewolves. Werewolves. I hope the Bears got some silver ready. Isn't that how you kill a werewolf?
Vampire.
Silver? Oh, vampire. Maybe it's silver. Yeah.
Vampires and werewolves, like, they're rivals, right?
Yeah, rivals. But I think silver takes care of both of them. But you look at the Steelers. 4 players with at least 10 quarterback hits: T.J. Watt, Nick Herbig, Keanu Benton, and Alex Highsmith. These guys can play. Obviously, they run a 3-4 defense, so edge rushers, T.J. Watt, 𝗦𝗏 I mean, these guys got great moves, a plethora of pass moves, good power rush, but these guys aren't just one-trick ponies. They can do everything. So you're going to help protect 𝗬𝗏𝗀𝗀. But the flip side of that, if you can, and you got a great offensive line, I think the Bears got a top 5 offensive line, in my opinion. And you know, I love some numbers. It's crazy to say this, but you go just ESPN analytics, pass block win rate, 3 interior linemen are in the top 10, the only team in the NFL with that, the Chicago Bears.
Insane. 3
interior offensive linemen in the top 10 of pass block win rate. Your right tackle is 6th overall. Good group there. 𝗬𝗏𝗀𝗀 is going to have some help, and he's going to have a good game. But if you can protect Caleb, this Pittsburgh Steelers defense, besides the front 4, not good. They are giving up the most, more than the Cincinnati Bengals, more than the Dallas Cowboys, the most passing yards in the entire NFL per game. So you protect Caleb, you're going to have some open stuff downfield. They run a ton of man-to-man coverage, and they're not moving off of that. You know what you're getting. They run a lot of middle close, man-to-man coverage. They've given up a lot of plays to the tight ends. So I think Colson Loveland could have a big game. Luther Burden could have a big game. I think even DJ Rome, there's going to be a lot of bless you, Ruthie. And I think there's going to be a lot of lanes there, but you got to protect. And I love our offensive line, so I think they can do it. If they can hold up, big game for Caleb.
Okay. You mean big game passing. Also, got to be able to run the ball.
Got to be able to run the ball.
And that opens everything up.
Yeah, the play action. Pitt gave up 99 yards and 5.5 yards per carry to Chase Brown last week. I think DeAndre Swift is a guy who's had 80-plus yards in 4 of his last 5 games. Get him going. It all comes off of that. The Steelers are 12th in the league in stopping the run, which isn't bad. They've been better, even better of late. But if you can get that run game moving, the play action going, Caleb's running the 2nd most play action passes in the league. How crazy was that? Do you remember back when they were saying, I don't know if Caleb's going to be able to run this Ben Johnson offense because he likes to do play action passes?
Yeah.
So much for that.
Right. And who's number 1? I'm curious. Do you know?
I don't know who's number 1.
Sorry.
And Caleb's the 5th most plays under center.
Yeah.
There was also a thing. He can't play under center. So Caleb has proved that he can do that thing, that he's very versatile when it comes to playing under center, when he's coming to playing in shotgun. So he's doing a lot of good things there. So you're absolutely right, Ruthie. Establish the run with Swift and our guy, Kyle Monangai, and then do everything off of that.
We sort of saw for the first time that two-headed monster sort of come to life last week. You know, Kyle had the big game against the Bengals, and then DeAndre came back and he had a big game. Last week, it felt like you sort of started to see them sort of figure out how they complement. You really saw how they complement each other well.
Yes.
In that game last week.
Yeah.
What I thought was interesting, Clay, obviously we've talked a lot about Caleb's escapability and his ability to run away from edge rushers and guys that are even coming up the middle. I think this weekend it would be really nice to see him get rid of the ball quickly in order to not have to run away from, because these guys are not your mama's pass rushers, right? Like these are some serious guys that are going to come after you and come after you hard, because if they don't get you, they know that the guys in the back end are going to have a tough time, you know, stopping some of these receivers. So how important will it be for Caleb to get rid of the ball, get it in the hands of his playmakers quickly, and let them do the rest?
Very important. And here's something I wanted to highlight too. You know who's first in takeaways per game and takeaway margin, right?
The Chicago Bears.
Do you know who's second in takeaways per game?
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. This team.
And they don't just sack the quarterback. They rip the ball out.
They go for the ball. Yeah. They are preached that. They are coached that. You saw drills earlier in the game. They're doing the Caleb Williams spin move and trying to figure out a way to get the ball out when he spins.
Yeah, they signed Plumlee, what's his name? Yeah, they signed him to run around. Pretend. It's funny. I remember back when I was covering the New England Patriots and Lamar Jackson was sort of like the new hot thing. Like they'd be like, who's Lamar Jackson on scout team? Like who's playing Lamar? Like that was a big thing. Now it's like, who's Caleb Williams? Like teams are putting some respect on his ability to get out of sacks and his slipperiness.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're right about him. Houdini. And playing on time, getting the ball out. And when it's time to be Superman or Houdini, then be Houdini. Then be Superman. But make sure you're playing in the confines of the offense first, getting the ball out on time, in rhythm, and he's been doing a solid job of that. He's been improving every week, and you hear the way the coaches are talking about it. People are talking about, you heard Declan, people are asking us why we're putting so much on Caleb's plate. Now he's trying to get it that the Bears are running some of the most motions and shifts in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
And what that says to me, that stuff's not easy.
Yeah.
When you're calling it in the play, it gets very wordy, it gets hard, you're motioning, you're shifting. But that causes so much problems for the defense that it's just something that you have to do. And for Caleb to do that, picking up a new system, I think it kind of changes a little bit of the narrative with him. Like, he can't pick up stuff. He's not doing it. Look at all these motions and shifts they're running, and they're creating a lot of, not only in the pass game, a lot of confusion, but they're creating a lot of alignment issues in the run game. They'll do a motion, and you'll see the 3 technique shift over. So now you got a better job for the guard to be able to reach this 3 technique. You got better angles. When you create angles for an offensive line as good as the Bears are, these veteran guys, most offensive linemen don't even listen to the play call. These Bears offensive linemen know when there's a motion because they know that their alignments are going to change.
Yeah.
Your double teams are going to change. If a guy's in the A gap versus he's in the B gap, 2 different guys are double teaming with him. You're doing a down block now and a guy's pulling around. There's so many elements that go into this offense with the motions and the shifts, and they've been doing such a good job at that. Keep that going. Create these angles. Football is a game of, yes, strength, power. It's also a game of angles and leverage, and the Bears have been doing a really good job of that. You see the Ben Johnson running game with creating these angles, these favorable matchups, and that's what they've been doing with all these motions.
I want to talk to you a little bit about special teams. We know you were a proud core four, right? What do they call that?
Core four special teams. I always wanted to be the best tight end specialist in the NFL. That was always my goal every year.
How would you phrase that? You were a proud member of the core four, or how? Core
four. There was probably like 4 or 5 guys on the team that were core 4 guys, and we knew it. We all before the game, hey, let's have a good game of special teams. We took it serious, and that's a way you can stick around in the league. And for me, my first inclination when I wanted to be a core 4 guy is to you stay in the game.
100%.
You stay in the game. You're a tight end. You're getting 10 snaps this game, 20 snaps this game. Maybe you get 30 snaps this game. But when you're getting those 10 snaps, guess what? You get 15 on special teams. You're still in the game. You're staying warm. It's a cold game. I love special teams. I love the first kickoff of the game.
Yeah.
Now I'm ready to go. Got that first hit out the way.
Right.
Let's play some football.
I love it.
Yeah.
So what did you make of the Bears' performance last weekend against the Vikings? Obviously some ups and downs, highs and lows. But at the end of the game, it was really special teams that made the big plays. Oh, man, you talk about redemption. Redemption was spelled HT last week. I mean, that was unbelievable how we were texted. We have our group text, me, David Hall, and Ruthie, and we're like, man, special teams, not looking good after they gave up that big punt return. And then you miss a field goal, 45-yarder, usually 𝗁ici's money from 45 yards. Indoors.
Indoors. It's like, how are you going to miss that? The protection was there, snap, hold, everything. He just pulled it. Then you come back with the kickoff return. I know we heard what the special teams coach for the Vikings said. Anybody could have ran that. He didn't get so disrespectful. Yeah, he didn't get touched, but give your opponents credit for making the right call, for blocking the guys the right way. Don't just put it on, this was our fault. No. They get paid too. They beat us. They out-schemed us. They made their blocks. If one of those guys missed that block, that play is not going anywhere. Yeah. You give credit to your opponent, and I think the special teams came back in a big way. And obviously, 𝗁cie Santos got a game ball for a reason. That was a huge kick, 48-yarder. I know some of us were questioning, man, should we throw this? Should we run this? But that just showed, to me, it wasn't a slight on Caleb Williams when Ben Johnson ran that ball. It was confidence in 𝗁cie to come back and kick it. It was confidence in your offensive line. It was a whole lot of different things. And Ben is a guy that is aware of how the game's going. Caleb was 16-32. It wasn't his best game. There was a lot of drops. Why do you want to risk that? When you got an offensive line that can move guys off the ball, when you got DeAndre Swift running the way he is, when you're getting so much population of the ball that if you get stuck at 3 yards, your whole offensive line is going to be there pushing the pile. That's what Ben did. That's why he made that call, and it turned out to be the right call. It's all very telling as to, our colleague David Hall was very upset that Jake Moody is no longer on the team. But I think what we learned is that's why 𝗁cie has the trust of the building. Yeah.
to miss a 45-yarder and then go out there and make the game winner with, Ben Johnson not blinking an eye, I think tells you everything you need to know. Not to mention, you're going to be playing a lot of games outside. You're going to be playing a lot of games at Soldier Field here coming up. So important division games at Soldier Field. So 𝗁𝗏 𝗟𝗏, deserves a lot of the respect and credit for his resilience and his ability to have a short memory. And obviously, I like what that whole unit sort of did there at the end of the game to make a play.
Yeah, I get the fascination with Moody because he's got such a big leg, but 𝗁𝗏's the most accurate kicker in Bears history, and it's not something that you can just take a flyer on. And I think Jake Moody will have a good career. He made some big kicks for the Bears this year. He won a game for him.
He's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere.
I mean, he's going to Commanders, but he's going to be a free agent.
Yeah, he could be a free agent. He's going to be a free agent after this year. If you want to give him a shot, sign him to a contract, bring him in for a competition, see who wins a competition. But at this point, that's not a move you can make. 𝗁𝗏 has been a steady kicker for a long time, and I think they did the exact right thing.
Okay. So I know we're not really going to do a game pick today, are we?
Yeah, we're doing a game pick.
Well, I know, but I don't have a score yet.
Yeah.
But you already said.
I already said I got
either
the
way,
Bears.
you're taking the Bears regardless of who plays quarterback.
Yeah.
I said early in the week, I said if Aaron Rodgers plays, I got a bad feeling about this for the Bears. The more I'm sitting on it, it's just tough for me not to pick the Bears here. What I think has been my favorite part of this team is that not only, Clay, are they winning in clutch moments and making plays at the end of the game, but what I don't think is getting enough attention is that Ben Johnson has managed these games in a way to give his team a chance at the end. Whether they're up or whether they're down and they're, trying to avoid the Vikings coming back in the fourth quarter again, Ben Johnson has been able to get the ball back, put the ball in the right people's hands, manage the clock correctly, and give his team a shot. And I think that's sort of where I'm I just feel the Bears at home have an advantage in this one because of the way that they're playing, because of the belief, because of the coaching staff. And then we'll see kind of what happens on defense with some of these injuries. But either way, I see the Bears taking the ball away again. Whether it's an injured Aaron Rodgers or Mason Rudolph. And I think they're going to need to have more pressure on whoever it may be in order to force those takeaways. But what I do feel confident in is Caleb Williams' progress, Ben Johnson knowing how to push the right buttons, and I'm confident in this run game, in this O-line. And I just think they can control the clock. They can win the game in the margins. And I've never really felt so confident about the way a team is not necessarily, I know it's funny, I'm confident in the way that the Bears are winning games. That's crazy to say because they're making it so difficult on themselves at the end of these games. But you just sort of have this feeling okay, if it's a close game in the fourth quarter, the Bears have a shot. Yeah. They've got more than a shot. And that's sort of where I stand on this one too.
Yeah, I think the one thing that gives me pause is the fact that the Bears are 7-2 against teams with losing records.
Yeah, but okay, let me just stop you there for a second because I get that. I heard this great commentary recently, but the Commanders beat a lot of bad teams last year and they got to the playoffs. And I just think when you're fourth place, you finished in fourth place the year before, you're going to play a fourth place schedule. Yeah. And sometimes you're going to beat a lot of bad teams, and that's just the way it goes. But when you do play the good teams, I don't think, and you know this from playing, I don't think you're going out there and being oh no, we have a good team coming to Soldier Field this week. Every team's an NFL team, and these are all NFL players. I just don't think in the locker room that's really a message where it's we haven't beat a good team yet. It's we've beat NFL teams and we got to keep beating NFL teams to get to where we want to get to. It's not and I hear you on this, but I also don't know how good the Steelers are, even though they have a winning record. The same way you want to say that about the Bears. I'm very much contradicting myself here and I'm well aware, but I just think the Steelers have a winning record, but how many bad teams have they beaten?
Yeah, they've beaten a lot of bad teams. You have seen them beat the likes of the Colts and the Patriots, but they have lost to the Panthers. They have lost some bad games too.
So it just it all sort of evens out to me.
Yeah.
And I think what you can say about the Chicago Bears is that they've beaten the teams that they're supposed to beat for the most part. And that is very encouraging when you think about, and then beating the Minnesota Vikings. Listen, I know J.J. McCarthy didn't play well. It's a really good defense. They've got really good receivers. And J.J. McCarthy, I think, it's not the end of him. He's played 5 games. Like, everyone calm down. That's how I feel. So I think you beat the teams who are on your schedule and you do your job. You beat the bad teams. You beat sort of a middle of the road team, a division opponent on the road. They believe that they can beat anybody right now. And that's how they should feel.
I agree. I agree with you fully.
Sorry for cutting you off.
No, I'm just playing devil's advocate here because I definitely feel that like you play against the teams that are on your schedule, and in the NFL, I don't care what the team is. These teams can play. They're out there to win the game. But the Bears gave up 5 yards of carry to the Vikings. They had 0 sacks, no pass rush at all, and receivers were running wide open.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy was missing guys or they were dropping passes, and I don't like to say, oh, they were too hard, you can't catch the ball. If I go to my coach and a ball hits my hands and I tell him he threw it too hard, he's going to tell me to pack up my bags and get out of here.
Yeah.
Because you got to say, Coach, I will catch that ball. So there were definitely some things to give you pause and concern, but they won the game, and they won it again in a fashion that you've seen them do it over and over again. I don't think they're going to blow out this team. I think it's going to come down again to probably a last-second drive. Something to do with the Bears get the ball back with another minute and a half, and they're going to have to go down, kick a field goal, score a touchdown. But I think they will do that. When you do it, it almost seems like it's inevitable.
It's where they're comfortable right now.
Yeah. And I've talked about this before. When I was with the Lions, we started awful. We were like 2-6, and we had to win out all these games. And we weren't great that year. We had Matt Stafford, but we didn't have much else on that team. Theo Riddick's our running back.
They had you, Clay.
Yeah, they had me. Taylor Decker, Eric Ebron. I mean, there was not that many big-name guys. But for us to make the playoffs, it was every week. I can't believe it's coming down to this last drive again. But when it did come down to the last drive, we knew Stafford was going to bring us back. We were going to get the field goal. We're going to score the touchdown to win. And that's what we kept doing. And we made the playoffs. And I wish I could say this is a happy story, but we lost in the first round to Seattle Seahawks. Tough place to play, especially in the playoffs.
So tough.
Couldn't hear yourself
I've never been
think.
there. I got to go there.
Yeah, Lumen Field was very loud.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't hear anything. You'd be talking to me from right here.
Yeah, I couldn't
hear you.
Crazy.
I'd be like, I'd have to read your lips. But a little off topic right now, but that belief in winning the games is something that is palpable. It's real. You can feel it. And it's something that means something. It's not just this esoteric, intangible thing that, they got lucky this week. No, there's a reason that it keeps happening.
Yeah.
And that's because you have belief. And that's play calling. That's the coach believing in the players, calling the right stuff in the right situation.
Yeah.
And it's also the players going out there and executing.
It's great stuff, Clay. I'm looking forward to it. Bears going to be back at Soldier Field. This is the home stretch here, right? It's the game before Thanksgiving, and then it's like, oh boy.
Black Friday, you got the Eagles coming into town, or we're going into Philly. Sorry.
We're going there.
Yeah.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Where will your heart be? Oh, that's going to be a tough week for you.
I'm going for the Bears, man. I mean, I grew up a Bears
we'll
fan.
Get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, I'm a Chicagoan, Ruthie.
I know.
I'm a Chicagoan.
And you do a Bears show. You don't do an Eagles show.
Exactly.
But you don't have to be a fan. You can just,
Yeah.
I think that'll be a good week for you because you can be because you love both teams for two different reasons.
The Bears need it more. The Bears need to win more. The Bears need it more.
But what does that say about the Eagles?
A big week for the Eagles too. It's not an Eagles pod.
Is this going for the 1 seed? No.
This could be if the Bears win.
It's crazy.
If the Bears win and the Eagles win, that will be a battle for the 1 seed in the NFC. Now, let's not count our chickens before they hatch. But the Bears take care of business here. Even if the Eagles win or lose, this game would be for the number 1 seed in the entire NFC.
We're still a week away.
I know. We got to take it one game. We got to go 1-0 this week, Ben Johnson.
Yeah, so hold on a second before we say goodbye. And I know we thought I had to be out of here at a certain time, but we're good. I just got a text. We're good. So before we go, one of my favorite quotes this week was Caleb Williams telling us something that Ben Johnson has said to him, saying, "Do I think you can go 25 for 25? No. but I think you can go 1 for 1 25 times in a row.
Love it.
I mean, that to me, goosebumps. Okay. I'm like, and I'm a sucker for the cliche coach speak like that. That's the end for me. Been good, better, best. Like it's that. Send it home. Like for me, that's just that'll do it. But what I love about that mindset and that mentality is that carries over not just when it comes to completions on the field, but it comes to winning games. Just go 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. And I do believe we talked to Kevin Byard in the locker room this week. Like that's somebody who is sort of breathing that messaging into the locker room from a player perspective too. And it just feels like the mindset of this team is in such a healthy space. And they're all just like taking in what Ben Johnson says and just like saying it back to each other. And they're in this like echo chamber of reality. And like no one's getting ahead of themselves. And it feels very authentic. It's culture, it's messaging, it's a coach who's a very, very good communicator. And it's cool to see this sort of transformation happen so quickly at Halas Hall.
It's like I tell myself when I'm on the treadmill, I go, can I go 25 minutes here? I go, no, but I can go 1 minute 25 times. And that's how you get on the treadmill for 25 minutes, Ruthie. That's how it gets done.
Our producers
I don't want to, they're shaking their heads at me. I don't want to bring this up because
you could go 25 minutes, Clay.
Yeah. But the Bears are 12-1 at home all time versus Steelers. That's me knocking on wood.
This is the whole thing. And it's like, okay, Aaron Rodgers 24-5 against the Bears. Like, to me, it's like, this is such a different team. Like, the Steelers come to Soldier Field. I hear you. And it's a good number. But like, do we really think, is that like in Mike Tomlin's head this week where he's like, oh boy, I don't do great at Soldier Field? You know what I mean?
No. So each game's its own entity.
Right. Like, is there any science or numerical data behind why they lose? It's just
zero. You're not thinking about that at all. I'm sure the players haven't even heard that.
But it is interesting when you look at two franchises that one is just like known for their success and one has been struggling as of late.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the one other thing I wanted to bring up is the Steelers blitz a lot. They blitz the fourth most in the league, and they run a very similar system to the system of the Vikings.
Yeah.
It's not the same, but it's similar. So if you want to see a team that blitzes a lot, you want to see them after you see the Minnesota Vikings because you're kind of like prepared for that. And I think that's real because you'll have a lot of the same calls, a lot of the same hots. Your mind is dialed into the blitzes, the corner cats, the fires, that every type, the cross dogs, every type of blitz that you see, there's a lot of similarities there through the blitz concepts of the Steelers and the blitz concepts of the Vikings, two teams that blitz a lot. So that's also something I think that should be mentioned.
Remember when Brian Flores was let go from the Miami Dolphins, he went to the Steelers.
Yeah.
Before he went to the Vikings. The defensive backs coach for the Steelers is this guy, Gerald Alexander, who worked under Brian Flores in Miami and also is now with the Steelers.
Dang, that's some good stuff right there, Ruthie.
Well, I'm a Brian Flores gal.
Yeah.
I like that was
when
I was in Miami.
We could say that now.
Yeah.
Not last week.
I don't know what's going on with me over here.
Yeah.
But I covered Brian Flores in Miami, and I was always a fan. Yeah. And in New England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Always been a fan. And you have to have respect for what he can do and as a coordinator. Clay, we have to do something quickly before we say goodbye because this is a sort of sad day for us.
Oh, yeah.
This is the last day for our producer, Edgar Perez, who has been with us. He's going to be so mad that I'm doing this. Who has been with us since the inception of the Charter podcast. And he's on to bigger and better things, and we're so happy for him. But we are sad for us.
Yeah. It's a tough day. I'm holding back tears this whole time, but it's going to be tough to see him go.
Do we have a camera on Edgar? No. But he's the best, and he is so organized. He makes us good at our jobs. He
set up this
gets
whole
everything out on time. He set up this gorgeous podcast studio.
Yeah.
He's done so much for and CHSN has had so many different sectors of like the network, and it was just so cool to and the second I got to CHSN, it was like, we're going to do a podcast about the Bears. And like Edgar came to me and was like, this is the vision. He had such a clear idea of like what he wanted it to be. And he's helped it grow and evolve into what it is today. And we just want to send our love. And we just are so grateful for him. so excited for him on his next chapter, but very selfishly depressed.
Yeah, I gotta say, one of the hardest workers in the whole company,
For
man.
sure.
I mean, the guy's a grinder. You come in here at any
all of our
hours,
podcasts.
all podcasts at CHSN. I mean, the guy's working like crazy.
And we have a
sad to
podcast,
see
at
him go.
least one podcast for every team, which is
Yeah.
insane. Like all of the teams that we have, with White Sox, Bulls, Blackhawks, and then we also do the Bears and we do the Sideline podcast, and I'm probably forgetting a million others, but like
Yeah.
Edgar's just been a stud. So
Sound,
we are going to miss him.
visuals, everything. I was setting my coffee cup down back when we first started doing this a little bit too heavy. And Edgar's like, hey man, can you stop setting your coffee cup down too much? Because I don't like that clang in the background and I have to go in and take that out every time you set your coffee cup down. I'm like, dang, Edgar.
Oh my
I'm like,
gosh.
okay. I mean, that's
The number of times Edgar has
meticulous.
saved me from like me being canceled, like I've
Yes.
said something stupid on here and
Yeah, he sent me a clip yesterday, not yesterday, but last week. It was a pretty funny clip. I won't repeat what I said, but he goes, don't worry. He sent me the clip just to show me what I said. And he goes, don't worry, I took it out. I'm like, thanks, Edgar.
it's great. I had one too. It was like a little bit of a Freudian slip that it would have been the end of me. But Edgar saved us from that. So he's very attentive to detail and we love him. We miss him and we wish him the best. With that being said, thanks for listening to the Charter Podcast brought to you by St. Xavier University. Clay Harbor, I'm Ruthie Polinsky, and for the last time with Edgar Perez. Have a great day.